Floppycatters! Today we're doing the final product review video for the Jimmy JV51, which is this stick vacuum that is in front of me, but can also be converted to a handheld vacuum. I have used this vacuum just like I would in my house with my two long-haired Ragdoll cats. I'm reviewing it as a cat product reviewer, and certainly any house with a long-haired Ragdoll cat needs a good vacuum. The main brush roll has the technology where it doesn't wrap hair, which is great, and this motorized smaller brush roll does have a lot of hair wrap and continue to have a lot of hair wrap, so I think it's probably best to only use this for like dusting debris and not for an area where there's a lot of hair. And then the crevice tool, the combination, the crevice tool with the brush, it also can collect a lot of cat hair, as you can see. That's pretty standard though in the vacuum industry, so I'm not too bothered by that. Would I buy this for my house? I'm hesitant to ever recommend a product, only because I'd have to know you, your cats, your household, and everything to be able to recommend a product to you. However, I do think that it's important to say whether or not I would buy this for my house. The answer is yes, but not for my main vacuum. So in my house, I have carpet floors, tile, low tile carpet, and then kind of higher tile carpet, reverse, the higher tile carpet, reverse. It does not do well on that, and it does fine on the lower Berber just to pick up, you know, like the wads of cat hair that might be left around. But I would still want like a good upright that got into the pile or into the Berber to get the debris and stuff out, which does not happen with this vacuum. However, it was great to like vacuum along my crown molding and stuff like that to get like cobwebs, and also it was great to pick up cat litter and cat hair on my hardwoods and on my tile floors. The other great thing is it transforms into from a stick vacuum. So you just put on the rod and then put on the brush head you want to use. So you have a stick vacuum very quickly, or you can take off the rod, make it into a handheld vacuum with one of the accessories. You can also put the brush roll head on the vacuum as well, if you wanted to do your stairs or something like that. But you don't want to down so if you're looking for a vacuum where you have mostly hardwood floors, tile, and vinyl, I think this is great. And if you have maybe a smaller house, if you wouldn't have a store version vacuum, then I think it's a great option. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. There's a link where you can buy it online in the about section below. I'm going to cover as much as I think it's Here are all the pieces and parts that you're going to get with your Jimmy JV51. You've got your motorized anti-hair entangling brush roll. It also has a pivoting head. Then you have your mini motorized brush. There's two combination crevice tools, and combination means that it's 2-in-1 where you can slide it up and then use it as a dust brush rather than a hard surface. So there's that dusting brush, and then there's the crevice tool that you can then turn into a dusting brush as well. And the rigid extension wand is that red piece. The actual vacuum is this piece. There's also a detachable, rechargeable lithium battery here on the vacuum itself. So you could buy extra batteries if need be. Then there's the wall mount and the wall charger. The nice thing about stick vacuums is they're so lightweight you can lift them up easily and vacuum off a cat bed like I'm doing here. The Jimmy JV51 is only 5 pounds, but yet it has a pretty good suction power of 115 watts. And then I think it's 125 watts for the max power. There's 2 different modes that you can use. The other great thing is you only have to squeeze the trigger once and then it goes. You don't have to hold it down. There's no latch or anything. It just holds down by itself. And then you just squeeze it again to release it. I love how quickly it maneuvers around things with the pivot head so that you can easily go from one kind of floor covering to another. I also liked how it vacuumed up my stairs, and I was just trying to show how easily it could maneuver around things. As I mentioned before, there's 2 different power levels, so you saw that red button on the back of the vacuum. That gives you the minimum suction power, and then you hit it again. Well, you actually hit it to get to the max power because it starts off on the minimum power. And I prefer to run these vacuums at max power because then you get the most suction. So you're getting all the dirt and debris and cat hair, in my opinion. I don't really ever use them on the minimum power. So the battery doesn't last as long in the max mode. All right, you can see how much cat hair is getting on the brush roll. And I wanted to show you how this ends up not being a problem. Eventually, from the rolling, the motorized rolling, it will roll off of there, but if it doesn't, you can easily just do this, and then it just pulls right off. Like so. It looks like it's getting in these wheels a little bit too, which is a little bit of a problem. But I think those pop out too. Another option, if you don't want to twist the brush around like I did, is you can use this little unlock feature here, which pops this little piece out. And then you can remove the brush roll entirely, like that. So you can easily remove any fur that's on there. Just for fun, I'm gonna vacuum up that chunk that we pulled out. And as you can see, it's gone from the brush roll. Maybe a tad bit right there, but pretty good. And into the waste bin. I tried to experiment as much as I could because I thought it was really neat that you could take the main brush roll head and put it on the vacuum like it was a handheld, and then I also used it on the stick vacuum and then used the mini motorized brush on the handheld, just to show you all the different possibilities and stuff like that. The mini motorized brush had a lot of difficulties on this, and in retrospect I would have used the Lily brush, but I'll explain that in a bit. So there's quite a bit of hair wrap when I did the motorized brush tool on this cap power tower, the top tower where there is a ton of hair always. This is problematic because I don't see a way to access that, to get rid of it. So that's sort of a bummer. I could have prevented this though, however, if I had used the anti-hair wrap brush tool first, or a Lily brush, and then just use this to get out dust and debris. Now on to the crevice tool, the combination tools. These are great for little small areas like this. This is the bottom of our cat power tower. And I even missed chunks that I couldn't see while vacuuming, but I can see now in the footage of the video. And then I used it for my vents as well to kind of get the hair out. That was a little bit of a struggle on that one to get certain chunks. Used it on my ceiling for cobwebs, and then on my crown molding for cobwebs, which was really nice to get those off. There are a few ways to empty the Jimmy. You can either twist it, so you unlock this thing right here and twist it and pull it down. So then you can go like that. And then we can take off all of this cat fur, which I don't This is one of the things I don't like about cordless or the bagless vacuums is touching all this stuff. Snap it back on, or the way that I prefer to do it is this little latch right here. You just remove that down and then everything falls out. And then you can also kind of bang it on the side of the trash can if you want. I do like to empty it after every single time I vacuum. So I vacuum until the battery dies, and then I like to put it all the waste in the trash. Now the other thing is you can wash all of these, basically rinse them all off. So you can wash the inside of this compartment, and then these guys come off with a quick little twist. So if you've got like hair wrap or something like that, you can rinse that underwater. And then this comes off with a little twist. And again, you could just get the extra dust and stuff that's gonna be in there from all of the vacuuming. And then last but not least, it has a filter on the top, which if you're gonna have the vacuum for a long time, you're probably gonna wanna replace the filter. I'm not sure how often you need to replace it. That's probably pretty subjective based on your household's cleanliness and how often you vacuum and all that kind of stuff. But basically, I think once the filter was pretty dirty looking, and I always, in that situation, like to order filters ahead of time, just so I have them ready to go when I need to replace them. And then all of that just pops back in. If you do decide to wash everything or rinse it off, just make sure that you let it dry completely for 24 hours. If you can't remember where everything went, then a good idea is just to take a picture of it so that you know how it was before you took everything off. You could also probably just watch a YouTube video like this one where they show you how to do it. Alright guys, that wraps up our review of the Jimmy JV51 stick vacuum. We could also call it a handheld vacuum. Both of my cats do not care for vacuums, and that's why he is reacting the way that he is. I actually don't want them to ever be okay with vacuums, because it was the one thing that kept my Charlie from darting out the front door, was scaring him with the vacuum on the other side, which wasn't fun to scare him, but obviously kept him darting out the front door, which was huge. So, anyway, I know it's a cat channel. I know I need to have a cat in the video, so they have to kind of suffer through being close to it. It's scary. Alright, let me know what you have question-wise in the about section below. If you bought one of these when you saw our unboxing and love it, hate it, or it's doing its job for you, share your comments below too, and help other pet owners decide whether or not it would be a good vacuum for them. Lastly, if you're still watching at this point, we have a free newsletter that you can sign up for, where we feature our reviews, information about cat health, cat behavior tips and tricks, other product reviews, and more information from our Ragdoll cat community. So be sure to sign up. It's free. Comes to your inbox about once a week. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.